Andrei Patachuk, former champion on the EPT, has 7-5 of hearts in the cutoff. He's raised it to 18,000.
Он тебя Андрюха пихает, видишь?
Ну что, Андрюхе не жалко, он наш.
Ernest Shakorian.
Зенитовский.
Typically a hand you'd expect to be folded in the small blind. Ace-4 suited, more reasonable. He does let it go.
So it's just Sergei Pishugin in the big blind. He was chip leader at the start of the day. He is an online qualifier. Still got a big stack, more than 100 bigs behind. He and Patachuk going to the flop, which is King Jack 7.
Both players making a pair. Of course, Pishugin has won the previous 2 pots of the table, and he's looking good for a third. A 5 on the turn and we'll have fireworks.
Always looking for sickness. 18,000 the C-bet. Quick call from Pishugin.
Что-то мне напоминает одну игру.
It's a 6. 83,000 in the middle.
Raise, call. Raise, call.
Pishugin has checked. Andrei not checking back. Second barrel coming.
It's intriguing he's going for a second barrel here. The only purpose this would really serve, I suppose, is maybe to fold out a 7 with a better kicker. I don't think even a jack potentially getting stubborn on the turn anyway, so there's not really many better hands you can get to fold, and kind of thin to be wanting a better 7 for value. Pishugin, I don't suspect is going anywhere just yet. His real decision is going to be at the river if he faces 3 streets. There is some merit to Patachuk having a 7 in his hand if he wants to line up some sort of 3-barrel situation, in that he blocks hands like Jack 7 and King 7, the hands that would call 3 streets.
The river card is a deuce. So you didn't get the 5 for sickness on the turn or the river. This has been Pishugin all the way, but Patachuk has been the better all the way. Raised pre, continued flop, barrel turn. Is he going to bet river? And if he does bet river, can he take Pishugin off top pair, weak kicker?
I don't imagine we're going to see a fold if we see a bet. Patachuk can certainly have bluffs like 9-10s and Queen 10s and even 8-9s that turn straight draws. And if he's bluffing with a 7 and Pishugin's aware of how wide he's barreling on this safe river, I think we could certainly see a call. With that said, there's plenty Patachuk can have for value. Obviously he has a lot of King X, King Jack, Pocket Jacks, Pocket Aces. It looks like he's reaching for chips. And it'll be a very uncomfortable situation for Pishugin. But I think there's every chance we see a call.
Oh, he
wow.
Shoves river. And it's a huge overbet. 232,000 into 173,000. This is polarizing. This is, for those of you who watch the Cash Challenge TV shows, will know, a watermelon bet. Sometimes the watermelon is sweet, but sometimes there's a sausage inside.
It would be a very solid call if he made it against a reasonable bet. To call an all-in would be special.
He's called it! He finds the call. It's a great call. And that is the end of Andrei Patachuk.
It's on to Volodko, who's now down to 3rd in chips at the table. So it's been a bit of a rough ride, actually, since his smooth start.
1.56 million chips, though. I think he's still doing pretty fine. Of course, never ever going to dream of folding the 10-9 suited.
Not in a month of Sundays.
I can't help but feel that Volodko versus Mustache Guy heads up would be the dream right now.
Mustache Guy says no to that one this time around, at least. Kamitsky also folds back on Dark Alley Guy, Sergei Kursakov. who also wants no part of it. So can we pick up some diamonds here? Perhaps we can pick up an ace and we can pick up 2 9s, and this is a hand.
This could get very interesting very quickly. It'll be interesting to see if Volodko decides to play it quick or play it slow. We did see him raising a similar board with Queen 10 on Queen 8-8 earlier on in the tournament. So it's not impossible that he'd have a hand like Ace 10, Ace 8 suited. These sort of hands had raised here. So Volodko could have a very tough situation about to happen.
Dreamland for Volodko here. Someone needs to tell his face about it. That hangdog expression as he puts in the chips and just pops it up by a small amount, just clicks it back.
I believe the hand with the Queen 10 versus the Ace 8 was against Zavoloko as well, so he will remember this pot. This card could slow things down slightly, and we do see the check very quickly, and this is going to peter out a little bit without playing a huge pot, unfortunately. Zavoloko's kind of been saved here. It'd be interesting to see if he ever elects to turn his hand into a bluff now. I would imagine he just takes showdown.
And if he could, would Volodko ever find the fold there with the 4 hearts on the board?
I think if we go super small, probably not. But he might. I mean, Zavoloko is going to have a lot of ace-x hands containing 1 heart. And he ace-10, ace-jack, ace-queen, all of these with a single heart.
He is going for chips here. It's a lot easier for Zavoloko to execute this move if he's completely missed. As it is, he's got showdown value here. Well, this one's right on the fence, isn't it, decision-wise for him?
I wonder if anyone would be brave enough to call the clock on him. Oh wow, he does call.
He does call. He does call. Oh my. How are they ever going to get anything past this guy?
If you sit actually a whole day with him, it becomes a little bit frustrating. But
we're getting some live pictures here. I believe Stuart, but there we go. Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Clubs. It looked like.
That's the ticket, and that was the hand. Thank you very much for sending that in.
In that case, I would assume that he didn't defend the big blind, but actually raised another early, got flatted, and then check raised instead of doing something else on that flop. Small blind raises it up.
Battle of the blinds, this one. Kershakov still ahead by some considerable margin here. Elects to check. Bit of pot control here, perhaps, because Kovaliuk's going to bet, and Kershakov is surely going to peel the turn.
He was planning on it, but facing a whole pot-sized bet will be making it a bit harder, given that he only plays 1.4 million. So this takes out a big chunk out of his stack, leaving him with only about 1.2 times the pot on the turn if he does make the call. Could see this being enough to get the fold. I'm not sure. So you could still definitely continue because you don't expect the 8 to bet that large. If the 6 bets that large, I don't expect it to jam the turn. And that combined makes it quite possible that you will get to see a river as well.
Definitely helps his cause now with his ace on the board, although he's facing another bet here from Kovaliuk. Ugh, this is getting really nasty, and he can only blame himself really for not raising in the first place.
Wow. But Kovaliuk has bet 530 into 900. It's an odd bet, given the stack being only twice that of Kershakov. People tend to do that, bet a bit, I don't know, even, like people would tend to bet smaller, I would assume, with a 6 or 8. It's one of those situations where you're not really sure because you can't really put that bet in a reasonable range necessarily.
Some people might even check back here when they turn to 6, if they did choose select so big.
Yeah.
It's a really tricky spot. It's one of those spots where you probably feel like you've got the best hand, but when you call and you leave a quarter pot left on the river and you're given a free card to possibly 6 outs, it's just very, very tricky.
It is. One hand you can probably exclude for the most part is though something like 5-7 or 7-9, because those hands don't want to be in this ugly spot of betting and then kind of being somewhat committed, but probably not, because you assume you're up against a 6 or 8. Really strong call by Kurzhakov here. Quite impressive. He does go with his feeling. I hope no Jack or 7 come. That would have been quite devastating.
Well,
very nice.
He's checked again to Cavalier. This is a really horrible spot for him now, right? What's he do here? Does he just give up, or does he have to stay him all in?
He might just follow through with it.
He has.
Wow.
Incredible.
He set him all in. What a move here. Jack 7 on the end here.
He's getting such a huge prize, but the problem is that you would just never imagine anyone's going to bet 500k into this pot.
That is very true. I think Kurzhakov was paying quite a bit of attention. Very nice. Fantastic. He made the table jump there.
How impressive is that? Makes the call, and he's going to feel 25,000 foot high right now. Kurzhakov, what a hero call. What a hero.
Really tough call.